And we have important breaking news that's coming in as US President Joe Biden has released his 2024 presidential bid with a campaign with Biden and Kamala Harris that are running together as president and vice president, respectively, in 2024.
Freedom, personal freedom, is fundamental to who we are as Americans. There's nothing more important, nothing more sacred. That's been the work of my first term, to fight for our democracy. This shouldn't be a red or blue issue. To protect our rights, to make sure that everyone in this country is treated equally and that everyone is given a fair shot at making it. But you know, around the country, MAGA.
So that was the election bid that's been launched by President Joe Biden. Remember, at 80-year-old, President Joe Biden is going to be the oldest candidate seeking re-elections when it comes to the state of United States of America. And we know that he'd already indicated to the reporters and he'd said to them that he is planning on running. He is going to be letting the people know really soon. And today is the day where exactly 4 years later, he's launched his election bid to contest the 2024 election. So at 80 years old, the president would be the oldest candidate to seek re-election. And the polls have indicated that the Americans are ready to move on from both Mr. Biden and his predecessor, Donald Trump. So what is going to be the results? Too early to predict. But right now, the big announcement there coming in from Joe Biden. My colleague Abhishek Jha is joining us on the broadcast. Abhishek, like I was mentioning, the oldest candidate to seek re-election. However, the people of America want change.
Of course, we'll have to see the interesting bidding coming from both Democratic side and the Republican side. We know that at the age of 80, the health issues of Joe Biden have been contested in the past. Also, there have been times and there have been video clips all around the internet where it has been predicted or it has been suspected that he's not in his best health, at least not to bid for the next presidential election will happen in 2024, and by that time, President Biden will be 82. So it will be difficult. He will be probably the oldest president that the U.S. could ever have had. But then it looks like now, for now, that President Biden is going to be fighting for that race. Donald Trump has also, the former president of USA, has also said that he will be fighting for the U.S. presidential race. He is also, by the terms of age, he is also very serious. And when all these Democratic elections were won by the team of Biden, initially it was said that Biden will be probably there for one tenure, and from there onwards he may be passing on the baton to Kamala Harris. But in the first year itself, it was very much clear that this is not the eagerness that with which Biden has actually proclaimed his candidature, that he's going to pass on the baton and he's going to stand for the presidential election himself. From here onwards, we'll have to see how the Democratic set about the party. Candidates are going to support President Biden for his candidacy for the 2024 U.S. presidential election.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Abhishek. My colleague Anand Narasimhan is also with us on the broadcast. Anand, is this going to be a stage finally set for that extraordinary rematch between Biden and Trump this time around as well in 2024?
Well, we have to see first whether or not Donald Trump emerges as the Republicans' choice, although he's thrown his hat in the ring much before that. But many experts believe that Joe Biden has already started campaigning and pitching for a re-election ever since the time the Republicans took control of the House. He's been doing it subtly, but it's been in plain sight. And over a period of time, he's been once again talking about what he's now centering his campaign around. More rights or fewer. Watch out, they may just come back and destroy the very ethos of America. And he's not overtly talked about Trump this time around, but he's talked about the need to finish the job, the need to get voted back again. Whether or not he has public sentiment with him, we have to wait and watch. Whether or not there are other Democrats or other people who throw their hat in the ring within the Democrats to challenge Biden's candidacy itself. And that itself is a big question. But Joe Biden has been saying for a while that he is planning to make the announcement. There were experts who were pushing him to announce it earlier, but he's delayed it. But he's finally come down and bit the bullet and said that he is going to run. If he gets elected, yes, the oldest president in running, yes, you've talked about it. Is he there in full capacity to be able to lead America for another 4 years? The jury is out on that. Is there a sentiment that is against him and against his policies and what he has done? Well, jury is out on that. But so far as as his family is concerned, he has their backing. They have backed him to the hilt. Jill Biden has said that she's all on. Reports suggest that she said she's all in if he decides to run again. And right now, Joe Biden saying we need to finish the job. What we've started 4 years ago, what we've put in motion, we need to finish the job. The pullout from Afghanistan, the extended Ukraine conflict, all of this, plus rules and laws, legislations back home, the situation back home, all of this is going to be a huge challenge. It's going to be an acid test for him to even win the confidence of the Democrats overall itself, to become the face of the Democrat campaign for 2024. On the other hand, this time around, he's not openly mentioned Trump because we don't know who the Republicans will choose. But this makes it interesting. A question that comes to mind is, don't the Democrats have anybody else? Do they have to rely on an octogenarian president who's finished one term for him to go back at 82 and say he wants to fight again?
Absolutely. And that's an important point, Anand, that you're mentioning. We would like to play again for our viewers the campaign video that's been launched as President Joe Biden has announced that he is going to be, in fact, contesting elections again in 2024. Let's take a look at that video again.
Freedom, personal freedom, is fundamental to who we are as Americans. There's nothing more important, nothing more sacred. That's been the work of my first term, to fight for our democracy. This shouldn't be a red or blue issue. To protect our rights, to make sure that everyone in this country is treated equally and that everyone is given a fair shot at making it. But you know, around the country, MAGA extremists